Of the Wareham Council on Aging Board of Directors is now open. Roll call. Janet Wilson, Sharon Frank, Marie Riley, Elaine Lemoyne, Lynn Beaupre. Guests, Sharon Rice, Nicole, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, Martello, and Judy Whiteside. We have absent Sharon Boyer and Missy Coronan. We're going to skip the review and vote on the meeting minutes until next month, when we'll catch up. Moment of silence for sick and departed. We have several who are out ill. They could use our help. Who what? No, I'm already clerk pro tem.
I can't hear you. Can you move your mics closer or, sorry.
You have to vote every time.
For what?
Pro tem.
Every time there's a pro tem, you have to vote for the pro tem.
Oh.
Even if you were last week.
Oh, you mean I could
Pro tem.
not be?
Yeah.
That's the
Make
first.
a motion, you accept Sharon Frank as our pro tem.
Oh, okay.
I second the motion. Third. All in favor?
Aye. Okay, can I keep going now?
Yes.
Okay, director's report. Lay it on us.
All righty. So we have, in case you haven't been in the kitchen lately, I've been spending a lot of earmark money before the end of the fiscal, which was last week. And we have a new freezer, yay.
It's beautiful.
And that will allow us to accept donations from the United Way for food distribution to seniors. So it's what I wanted the freezer for, not just for our cakes and things. So it's a really good tool for us. We also have a portable dishwasher, yay. So happy about that. Lots of supplies, lots of tools for different programs that we're going to start out. Drums Alive, you've seen the balls in the gym, and we got a lot of new stuff happening. We are very fortunate that Kelly, our outreach person, is also a trained fitness instructor, so she's going to teach a few classes for us, which will be wonderful. So we were flush, we are now broke again. We are in a new fiscal year, and we're back to reality. So I tried to get a lot of things to carry us over, lots of napkins and plates, staples, nothing sexy, but dish detergent and
Day-to-day stuff.
the day-to-day stuff that we need that, you know, we don't have to worry about paying for in the coming year, or at least part of the coming year. So I met on Friday of last week with Betsy Connell. She is the executive director for the Massachusetts Councils on Aging. She has been a tremendous resource. We are working on a behavior policy here at the COA for people who attend. And I have consulted with Ms. Whiteside and with a few other COAs about how to create a policy that we can enforce so that if we have problems with people who attend, they know what the expected behavior is, and then we have the ability to take some action on it. So I am very close to finished. I need to send that over to the town administrator for approval, and then we will have something there, so that'll be a good thing. I would also like to create one for our Facebook page, because we do have some people that like to come online and, you know, trash talk us on our own Facebook page, so this will be a way for us to have some teeth there as well. So, and lastly, we have picked out some events that we're going to be having for the rest of the year. We have October 4th is our disco, which, I'm sorry?
August 4th.
August, did I say October? Yes. August 4th will be the disco. We're going to do a barbecue in September. I don't have dates on that, but, and then in October, we're gonna have, hopefully we're gonna have something called Country Fest, which would involve a singer and a line dance instructor to teach people how to line dance, and we'll have like chili and kind of things. I have to talk to Marge about it, but that's the hope. And then we'll also have a Halloween party. November is Thanksgiving, and I just talked to Old Colony. We're gonna get a turkey carving station and be very ritzy. And we'll have something for December for the holidays. And that is about it. Melissa is not in today, but I think most of you, if not all of you, have met our new community outreach coordinator / program coordinator, Melissa Quirk. And she's awesome, so we now have I have two people that work with me. I'm very excited. So early days, but Melissa's taken over the newsletter. She's in charge of all the programs, and we are coming up with a plan to do some community outreach. You know, there's a lot of groups, particularly housing, where we need to be a visible presence for them, educate those folks on what we can do for them, how we can help them, how they can, what are the kinds of things they can come to us for. So that's first on our agenda, but then we have a lot of mobile home parks we'll be reaching out to, and just place where there's a lot of seniors, so suggestions are welcome. There's places
That's
you think we
awesome.
should go to.
That's really awesome.
And just anecdotally, hopefully you all received the postcard in the mail so the calls have not stopped coming as a result of the postcard. So it did exactly what we want. We've got the number of people coming in for SNAP, which is food stamp applications, for home health care, things like that. So it really had its desired effect, and so it was all paid for by a grant through MCOA, and did really what we hoped it would. So it's putting us on the map for seniors, which is what we want to be. Yes.
I have the original mailing list for the beacons, which is 400 and some. Now, this last time, from the people that called in and said, yes, I want to keep it, we were down to 200 and some. Do you want me to hang on to the old list, or do we think those people are eventually going to call and say, hey, where's my beacon? Or do we zap them out? What do we do?
Well, anyone who wants to be on the list can be on the list. So if somebody calls us and they say, hey, I was on the list and I didn't call you, I didn't know,
Right.
where's my beacon? We'll just put them back on. What we're trying to avoid is sending it to people who no longer live here, that
Right.
are dead, that don't
Right.
want it, you know, like,
Right.
because it's a lot of money. It's
Okay.
about almost $12, probably $11 per
Yeah.
person per
Yeah.
year.
All right.
So multiply that by 200 people, it's a
All right,
lot of
then I'm
money that
just-
we don't
then
have.
I'm just going to drop mine down to the 200 and some that are active.
Yes, I did save the original list that we had prior to
Oh,
moving
okay.
them down,
All right,
just
then
because
I don't need to. Okay.
sometimes people call and they say, hey, I'm Sharon Frank, I'm not getting my newsletter, click. So, I can go and find out where Sharon Frank lives and
Yeah, okay,
put her back on,
okay.
so.
I'm wondering if there's some way that you can put in the newsletter that it's complimentary, but we do accept donation to cover our postage? I mean, something similar to that?
We could do it on a donation kind of
Yes.
thing, absolutely.
Good
Uh,
idea.
It might be a good idea,
Yeah, that
with
is a good idea.
Stamps being what they are.
because I'm going back on the mailing list.
Well,
and
please
I'll be-
update your address with us,
I
otherwise.
yeah, I will. I will do that. But I will certainly donate to,
But you're right,
to
yeah,
pay to pay the
stamps.
postage. I'm going to be in Florida in the wintertime, and I would like to get it while I'm gone.
Yeah,
And I'd be happy to, pay my fair share.
No, that's a good idea.
Okay.
they used to charge back in the old
Yeah.
days.
Mhm.
They charged $6 a year.
So I did
But
talk to
stamps were like
accounting.
13 cents, whatever, you know.
I talked to accounting about that, and they don't advise us to even touch it. If we charge for something, the money doesn't stay with the COA, it goes to the town. So it would be beneficial to the
Would
town,
be-
but there's a
yeah.
lot of record keeping.
Sure.
We're
for
better
Yeah,
off-
I don't want to
dollars.
see
We're
that
better off to
happening,
ask for donations.
but just,
Donations stay with the COA, so.
Okay.
yeah.
So can we put a line in the beacon, like Marie suggested?
Yeah, we'll do a little blurb or something
Okay.
to put it in there, but it's a good idea.
Yeah, good thought, Marie, good thought.
And that's about all I have.
Okay, board members' updates. Anybody got anything they want to update?
No?
Yeah.
It's finally summertime.
Um, Okay, am I
Came in with a bang.
chairman pro tem or am I clerk pro tem today?
You're both.
Both?
Yeah.
Okay,
I-
All right.
If you're taking notes.
all right. No-
Well, you
no,
I mean,
yeah,
you
no.
didn't take, we have our
I'll
notes.
take the notes.
Yeah. Yeah, you're fine.
We'll take notes, all right. No board member updates?
No,
Nobody's got any, all right.
no chairman.
All right, chairman update. I would like to entertain a motion that we vote to place Jim Muniz on our board. Jim, had you applied for associate or full?
I just applied to be on the board, and then the board made a recommendation to select me.
Okay.
They feel to act to it at that point.
I don't even know where the application is at this point. Do you?
Excuse me, guys, if Jim is gonna speak,
They-
please come up to the mic. Thank you.
Okay, Judy, do we know where the application is?
Yes, we have the application. You had originally recommended an associate member because you had a full board at the time. You no longer have a full board, so you can recommend him for a full membership. We do have his application, excuse me, from before,
Okay. Then
okay?
I
So
would-
you're all set on that.
I would like to entertain a motion that we vote Jim Muniz in as a full member to the board.
I second that.
All in favor?
Yep.
Aye.
Welcome.
Presume that the next step is that we now send our recommendation in to the selectmen. They'll let you know if they want you to come and do the dog and pony show or not. Probably not. And then you just go get sworn in and you're good to go once a month from now on in.
Right over there.
Yay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're happy to have you, Jim.
Very
Just
happy.
remind you that you have to have the open meeting law certification and the,
I'll do all that.
yeah, okay, great. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, chairman update. I think I think that was all I had, other than the rest of the stuff that's on the new business.
May I make a recommendation? I think with the number of applications that are coming into the board for seats on the board, that the board come up with a policy, a procedure of how these applications are handled, how it's shared amongst the board, what the timeline is to vote on it. Right now, it seems really haphazard. There's no rhyme or reason. Things are getting shared sometimes and not other times. So I think a procedure would be, something you all agree upon, would be really helpful, because I know there are several
Okay,
applications
yeah,
pending.
Yeah, let me address that for a minute. All of you have two copies. One is for William Smith and one is for Barbara McClure. Carolyn McClure.
Excuse me.
Um,
And excuse me, Judy was here this morning
Right.
and apologized for not coming because she was coming to her
Right.
first meeting also.
Right.
Because she would
But
like a-
we don't have her application because it's someplace else at the moment.
Yeah.
However, I've handed out the two that I have, and I will get the third one to you by email as soon as my router gets fixed and I'm back online. It would be my suggestion that you take a look at these between now and the next meeting, and you come prepared to either discuss or make a decision so that we don't have this big lag. If you like, I will send notes of apology to both of these people who have been waiting like forever. If that's what you'd like me to do, I can do that. And just say that due to some inner conflict and whatever, we have not been able to address it in a timely fashion, and inviting them back to the, August meeting? What do you think? come on, talk to me,
Yeah,
people.
yeah, that would be, that'd be good. That'd be good.
All right, so that's to William Smith and to Carolyn, and Judy, when I can get her application. I know where it is, I'll get it.
Okay, all right.
Why
Yep.
is she not gonna get an application?
Huh?
Why aren't you gonna give Judy one?
She submitted it to Sharon. Sharon gave it to Sharon Boyer, and that's where it is.
So it's with Sharon, but it's
Sharon
available.
Boyer.
It has been
So I
done.
can't get it to disseminate it to all of you,
Okay.
okay? But I will get it to you within the next, hopefully, the next week or so, or I'll have her fill out another one. And we'll move on it, we'll get to it.
All right.
We'll send a note of apology to these people that we've been stalling forever.
All right, can
And-
I ask a question?
Yeah,
Am I able to ask questions about these two people that we have now?
I would think the questions would need to go to the candidates. You'd need to have them, because we don't know, right? You don't know these people.
Yeah.
Like, you
Right.
can't answer for them,
Okay.
whatever your
Yeah.
questions are.
Yeah.
yeah, I think you need to just review this, make a note of your questions, and then when the
Right.
people come to the meeting, then you get your questions answered. That's the general procedure.
Right. And then when Sharon Boyer is back, we can get Judy's application, and I can scan it for her, and then it can be shared amongst you, so that presumably you can,
We'll have that
she's in
information
the
by the
pool.
next
Okay.
meeting. Yeah.
Alrighty. And then Ms. Whiteside just pointed out that we have 9 full members and 2 associate members. So now that Jim has joined, and then there's 1 vacancy as a full member, and then 2
Right.
associate members. And I believe we have 3 candidates, right?
Yes,
Yeah, so if you decide to vote them in, we could indeed be full.
yeah.
But my term will be
And then you,
ending in
yes.
September.
And then we'll
so-
have another one.
So there'll be another opening
Yeah.
for the October.
Yeah, yeah,
Right, so,
okay. Judy, was there any question?
Well,
I think we actually put you in for a year.
they put
just-
me in for a year, but
Right, so you
by
will,
October, I'll be a resident of Florida.
right, so then you'll have to resign,
I'll resign.
and then you can move,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Someone
I will do that
someone
before I
will
leave.
Fill in the spot.
Yeah.
What we tried to do was create your rotation so that 3 of you, your term expires every
3 years.
3 years, so 3, 3, and 3.
Right.
And in order to keep that rotation integral, we put you in for the 1 year, because otherwise it just gets so messed
Gets
up.
messed up.
And the terms are they expire on June 30th, so they start on July 1st. And we're doing that with all of our boards and committees.
Okay,
Again,
so-
it just makes the record-keeping possible
Easy.
as opposed to impossible.
So whoever filled Marie's spot then would
Well,
fill it until.
Fill it till June
If
next
end
year.
of
Yes, she would,
June
that person
24.
would
June
go into
24.
that slot. Yeah.
Okay. Volunteer to update notice board. We're working on an alternative. We had a clear plastic notice board that was on the wall downstairs at one point in time that Missy had bought. I'm not sure where it is. It's gotta be in the building somewhere. You could open it up, put your notice in, close it up, and it was clean and permanent. It's
I've
gotta-
never seen it.
I'm sure they haven't thrown it out. It's gotta be in this building somewhere. Our thought was that we would put that we would type up a list of those events that don't change. Every week it's this, every week it's this, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, what room and what time, whatever. And put that on the wall where Hope's window is. And then.
sorry,
on
where
that-
what window is?
Where Hope's window is.
A mural.
Hope is our
Oh, the
lady.
mural.
Okay.
Okay, where her next to her window, okay.
We had a
And then
contest for her name.
On that post right next to it, we then, on that one, could put information about the changing events. The stuff in October, the stuff in September, so people coming in the door If they're looking for the everyday stuff, yeah, it's right here, like in the doctor's office, it's right here on the wall. But if they're looking for special, it's right there in their face. They don't have to go around the corner to get the elevator to see it. It's right there where they can see it. Anyway, this is what we've been talking about and kind of working on. So I don't think we need to get volunteers necessarily to update
Their
that
whiteboard.
awful board.
Basically because nobody volunteered.
Yeah, 'cause, yeah, right.
Well, I just, I'm not opposed to any of the things you just described, but somebody needs to be in charge of that, and it's quite a bit of work, just so you know. And it's not something I think the staff could take on, so it would need to be a
Well,
board.
Well, pretty much once we do it once. And I checked with Staples, and they said to go from 8.5 by 11, if we type it out in black and white, to 18 by whatever, bigger, was 50 cents. So it would be no problem to do it up once and put it up. Now, if a class drops off and we need to change it once every 4 months, okay, we've got the format, we've got it done, we know how to get it done. I just thought it would make it a lot easier than trying to find somebody to write that stuff out every day, since that's been such a problem.
Okay, I'm, like I said, I'm not opposed to it at all. It's just that
We're gonna work on it.
right now, it's, yeah, and
Yeah,
it's.
we'll report
I mean,
back.
Lynn can tell you, she sees,
Yes.
the calendar changes a lot every
Right.
month. You may not realize it, because
Oh,
you
yeah.
probably don't look.
Yeah.
Because you know
But it
when
does, right.
Marge is and whatever, but
Right.
it does change a lot.
Yeah.
And some things drop off of the summer, sometimes instructors go away, you know,
Right.
there's all kinds of stuff. So anyway, just
Okay.
saying.
But then we can work with you about what changes and what doesn't, and what's permanent and,
Is there any way we could have another big whiteboard like we have outside the office in an area downstairs? I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to doing,
A second one.
Wow.
a second big
It's a
one?
lot of work. Yeah.
I don't know, we've got a wall down there to put it on.
Where would we get a whiteboard that big? Seeing as we have no
We'd
money.
have to buy one.
Yeah.
But
We have no money.
I think
One
it
that's
would be
down there
easier
in
than
Easel. Can
doing
that
it
be hung?
daily, that's all.
Not big enough?
we'll have to just, you know,
Right,
talk
well,
about it
anyway,
and
it's, yeah, it's
price it
something,
out.
it's something we're working on.
Okay.
Anyway, it's in the works.
Just putting that out there.
Yep, yep.
All right, we need volunteers to maintain the pots. So far, it hasn't been a problem, being as how it rains every day. But hopefully, that's not gonna continue all summer. And I will talk with Lynn Uberti and see if she's got maybe some people who are willing to take that on. And see if she's got some gardeners who will take pity on us. We have the empty water jugs and everything to lug the water out there.
Well, we lost the wagon, that the pots, the jugs used to be in the little red wagon.
Where'd the wagon go?
Thought it was in the back room.
Oh, we still
Is it
have
in the back
yeah.
room? Oh, okay, well, it should, yeah, because it was right out there,
It was right near the elevator.
yeah, near the elevator with the pot, with the empty
Yeah.
It's in the
milk
back room
jugs. yeah.
somewhere.
No, we got it somewhere,
people
because I
could-
saw somebody lugging stuff around in it the
Yeah,
other day.
yeah, I saw it also. But,
The wagon is in the closet with the smaller freezer.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in there,
Okay.
It's in
okay.
there, but there were no jugs in it. I saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there's some jugs on the
Then-
floor.
They must be on the floor up by the elevator.
Greater Boston Food Bank, we use it for that.
Okay.
Also, just FYI, I'm looking for some volunteers. We have that closet where the freezer chest is prone to flooding, as you know, and right now that freezer is on the ground. So I'd like to put it on a pallet. So we're gonna need some hands, and I'm looking at all of you, but I don't want to. But if there are some folks that can help lift it and
Maintenance,
slide the
there's
pallet
pallets,
underneath.
there's pallets in the inner, in the very first doorway. Can one
Yeah,
of
I
those?
brought a pallet down yesterday, so, so there's one there. And
Well, just call the boys and get them over to hike it up there.
You talking about maintenance?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
not very cooperative lately, so,
They're all-
If we have the
oh,
dolly.
yes. We could try the fire department.
If we have the dolly, we could, a couple of us could lift the end. If, no? You want us to physically lift it?
No, she wants the fire department to do it, so
Oh,
that, so
okay.
that no one
Alright.
gets hurt.
All right, that's fine.
Which,
All
yeah,
right.
so we can look into that. I'll reach out to,
Okay. Huh?
The next time we have,
that say Mike Board, is that what it is?
Okay, somebody had,
maybe the next triad meeting, if,
Sorry?
maybe the next triad meeting if the fire
Right, which
department
is
comes.
Tuesday,
Yeah.
so,
oh,
So,
yeah.
if-
yeah,
if they
we
come
grab them,
here.
they're in the building enough.
Yes.
While they're here, have them hike it up under the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Somebody suggested that we need to have the gateman schedule posted around the building. I don't
The-
have any of the schedules, I don't know
The
where they are.
gatemen have a posting on the fence for the next ball game that's here.
Uh-huh, so we
So-
got nothing in the building, so people even be aware that the gatemen are there, right?
Didn't even know we had one.
Right, right, right.
Who do we contact to get their schedule?
I don't know, who's the contact with the gateman?
Thank you, Bert. Oh, sorry.
Glenn Hannington. If you go on their website, it's right there. They have a website that has everything on it,
Oh, okay.
okay? All the stats and everything that you didn't need to know.
Okay, along those lines, I don't know whether the gatemen ever have I think they do, they have a something or other night. And I think it's too late this year for us to plan something like that.
No, actually, so Min is going to talk about this at the triad meeting, but the DA's office and the gateman are doing a joint evening. They're going to do hot dogs, free
okay.
hot dogs for seniors, and it's like the first 100 seniors, and so she emailed me about it, but she's going to talk about it,
Oh,
and
nice.
give the date
Oh,
at
cool.
triad on Tuesday.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Okay.
so Min is the, she works in the
The
DA's
administrator.
office, she's our point person, so. And the triad meeting is 9 o'clock on Tuesday, so
Okay.
we'll get the details on that.
Okay, cool. All right. Since we have the cornhole equipment down there, could we, some Tuesday morning before volleyball, have a demonstration so people even know what it is and why it's there? I mean, we've got this big piece of equipment down there, and I would bet you most everybody walks by it and doesn't know what it is, why it's there.
I mean,
Who would
certainly, you'd have to,
Would Melissa be the one to talk to?
Melissa could set it up. I mean, she's not going to demonstrate it, that would be up to
It's very easy.
the senior group. I mean, whoever is interested in doing it.
Okay,
It's,
well, we can talk with her about picking a Tuesday morning to do that.
Yeah, not a triad day, obviously,
Yeah,
but,
right, yeah, because Tuesday morning's when we get our most people here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
yeah. And so like the pool table, the cornhole is available, as long as the gym isn't being used by something,
They'll come and do
yeah,
it.
go
Or
for
they
it.
can take it outside for that matter.
Yeah, they could, I mean, taking it outside's probably
Yeah.
pain, but they could if they wanted.
It's extremely heavy.
Is it?
There's
Yeah.
there's not really a good place to put it. I wouldn't trust the parking
Yeah, and the
lot.
parking lot's not good.
We
Cars
just-
coming around the
Well, you'd have to
corners.
put it around back.
And you
or
don't
whatever.
really need that much room for them. You know, they have to be just so many feet apart.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
it
just
doesn't
throw
take
a
up the whole lot
beanbag.
of room.
Maybe someone should look up the rules for it, because I have no idea how far apart they're supposed to be, and,
Well, we'll talk to Melissa
Melissa.
about that.
Okay.
good idea.
We need a donation reminder, and this goes back to what Marie was talking about. We have a thing in the Beacon about donations, but it's talking about durable equipment. We don't have anything in there that talks about, put us in your will. kind of thing.
Okay.
You know, and it couldn't hurt.
Well, I can tell you in Attleboro, when someone passed away, frequently they would put, in lieu of flowers, please make a if you're interested, make a donation to the COA. But that's really up to the families, like it's not something,
Right, no, I'm not I don't wanna get that specific, but just, you
Yeah.
know, if people are looking for a donation, send it in, we can be sure it goes where you want it to go. I don't know how to phrase it, but, people probably haven't thought about it going there as well as some other places, so.
Well, the ad about the DME, which is durable medical equipment, the walkers, the shower chairs, I'm very dismayed to see that people just bring us their junk, and they expect the CO, they don't know what to do with it. A parent dies, they bring us all kinds of stuff. Yarn, we don't have a knitting group. We don't accept yarn. We don't accept people's used nylons. We don't accept broken medical equipment. We don't take a traditional wheelchair. We take transport chairs, so everything needs to be approved now. Please do not accept any donations without running it by the office, because we don't have a lot of storage. It may seem like we do, but we really don't, because those are all used rooms for programs. So, so putting something on, I don't know if we would have to do it separately, you know, only run your things by us before you drop them off, but we'll take your cash. So,
Absolutely.
we'll figure that out, but we'll put something in
We'll
there.
take green stuff.
It was just a thought.
Green stuff, unless they're nylons.
The social media policy, obviously I can't spell. I just will table that until Missy's here next meeting, because that's her thing.
Yes, because she spearheaded
Okay.
that. And she also, for whoever makes the agenda for the next meeting, she miraculously had her daughter work on all of the surveys that Missy Dizak had done for the age-friendly.
Right,
And
yeah.
her daughter, like, collated all of the responses, and she's created this great result. So we should, in advance, everybody should take a look at what the survey covered, and then we can discuss it at the next meeting. I believe Missy shared it with the entire board.
Yeah, I have a copy of it, and
Yep.
everybody
Yep.
else have
Mhm.
one.
Yeah.
Yep.
What is it? What is it?
Did you not get it, Elaine?
Don't think so.
I don't know if
I
I
don't
have
think
two
I
or not.
You didn't get it either?
You didn't get it either?
Okay. I'll ask her to resend it and make sure she's got, because maybe Jim didn't get it either, I'm not sure. You did get it? Okay.
Social media.
She didn't send it to me, and then afterwards said, oh, I should probably share this with you,
Yes,
so.
yeah. Elaine, just make a copy of this, and then when you get a chance, give the original back to me.
Okay, I'll make you a copy.
Speaking of the age-friendly, I know you were involved with that, Sharon, before COVID with
Right.
Missy and Alan. And you worked with someone over in New Bedford. Do you remember who that was?
Nice young lady, I have no idea what her name was.
Okay. So anecdotally, I was given some information from some seniors who go to Easton for the COA and also Cumberland, I think, Cumberland, Rhode Island, and they became age-friendly. And it actually, according to the senior, it backfired in Easton. What happened is the town decided to age-friendly, merged recreation and the COA, and now everything is really youth-focused. There are some programs, I did look it up online, I can't find COA on any of the town pages in Easton. I went to a meeting at Old Colony, and the person who showed up, his title, he has some very fancy title that has nothing to do with Council on Aging, and he looked like he was 30. So, you know, I know that's reverse
they're-
age
yeah, they have
discrimination, I don't mean that, he could be very capable, I don't know. But
They had their own building and everything, because we went up there to teach them how to play chair volleyball.
this was Easton?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, this was just, the seniors, according to this person, the seniors don't like to go there anymore because it's really a mix. And so that's something I want to, the good news is Wareham doesn't have a recreation department.
So
So
it won't happen, but still.
they wouldn't merge us, but you just don't want to lose the senior focus too. So we just have to be careful as we move forward that we protect senior status, even though we want to be welcoming for all ages, you know, so, anyway.
Okay. What else did we want to do under the 48 hours?
And
Tim, and then something else. Oh,
I just wanted to actually mention one other thing, just in passing, someone had suggested we might consider moving board meetings to Mondays.
right.
Um,
That was it.
So I'm just reminding that was
Yeah, that was,
a potential
I
thing.
had two things under 48 hours, and that was one of them. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Since Missy's going to be available, well, all right, let's back up and do the voting first, and then we'll talk about it. We need to elect a clerk, term to expire the 1st of January, 2024. A corresponding secretary only.
I elect Jed and give him something to do.
He's not on the board yet.
Oh, he isn't? Oh,
But,
I thought you said he was on the board.
Well, he's
well,
gonna
he
be.
has, he has to be, he has to go
I
through
mean, we
the,
have we have other new people coming on that we may
yeah,
be able to Shanghai as well. But we need somebody in the interim. Can we just, do we have to elect, or we just continue with pro tem?
Who's pro
How do we
tem?
do that?
You can continue to do pro tem. I suggest against it. What I would suggest is that you elect somebody for a one-year term that expires June of '24, that both of your positions become June of the next year, June 30th, so that you're only locking yourself in for a one-year term, if that's,
Why can't we do it because our terms internally run January to January. So why can't we put somebody in to run from now until January of '24, at which time we have our internal elections?
you could do that. Then your chair, I would suggest you do to January of '24 as well, so that you're creating, I call it building a bench, that you're creating people who can step up, who learn how to do the stuff that needs to be done. That's just a suggestion.
So if we elect a chair today,
Mhm.
then that would be for the term of '24, not '25?
That's my suggestion to you, only because you are in flux, and you are expecting new members, and you are expecting some members to to step down.
Okay.
So I would give the body, as you get to know each other, then you have an opportunity to select both the chair and the clerk. That's just a suggestion.
All right. So we need to elect a clerk with a term to expire January '24. This is,
Does
Are you
the
willing?
responsibility of the clerk.
okay. It corresponds to corresponding secretary. It's listed in here. It's paperwork and thank you notes. It's not involved in taking the minutes.
What's the paperwork?
Roles of the chair and the clerk. Page 3. Page 2, roles of the clerk. Works closely with the chair to follow open meeting law and public records law requirements for all minutes, documents, and records. Read aloud official notice of public hearing. Responsible for recording, and this is what Nicole is going to be doing. So that responsibility's off the table. So it would only be filing the minutes, and I would presume that means getting them over to the select office.
The
What does
clerk
that-
needs to sign each set of minutes.
So I'm only the transcriber, so once the minutes are done, I would submit them to the
You
clerk.
would submit, and she would
Clerk would sign them and
sign
file.
off on them and get them over to the office.
Right.
Okay. Ensures that each member has received information, training, and submitted receipts and certifications. What does that mean?
That means that each member has to take the open meeting law training, the ethics training, has to sign that they've received the sexual harassment policy, and also we discussed this with all of you before, that you have a Corey Sorry done because you deal with a vulnerable population. So the clerk, you know, in January says, hey, looks at the paperwork and you're all set. Or not. You
And-
guys caught up, though. You got yourselves all caught up to date.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. You got us caught up to date. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But you will have new members coming on.
Yes, so they have to,
Right.
And because there was no one kind of in charge of this, I have copies of everything. I asked all of these, you know, give me a copy of your ethics training certificate, of your, you know, I have the Corey's do.
Usually have your mic on.
I'm sorry. The Corey's do flow through me because the reports of who's passed the Corey's come to me. So I have records of all of that with dates and all of that other stuff. So the court could have like a summary sheet and say Janet Wilson, you know, this is due whenever, and just reference it once a year or twice a year, whatever. But I have
How
the
often-
paperwork for all of you.
How often do our quarries have to be done?
2 years? It's every year? I thought
No.
once
Once.
forever?
Going,
Okay.
yeah.
Once forever?
Yeah.
What if I commit some sort of a crime?
I know. I'm worried about that.
I'm not having any plans to do that, but
I might.
I thought it was every 2 years, but if it's once, it's once, so you're all covered.
All right. Okay, and the clerk ensures that the annual report has been filed.
who does the annual report?
I would think that that's between the clerk and the director.
I get that pleasure, yes.
So it's just paperwork.
And if I could just take an aside, I am actively working on the annual report right now. It's due at the end of the month. I have not been here the whole year that this covers, so if there's anything important that you feel should be included, just reach out to me, send me an email, tell me whatever, just so that I can make sure it's included in the report. So,
go to the
Elaine,
meetings.
what do you think?
I would like to commit to it, but it's just summertime is very hard. I know it's one day a month. No, I'll be honest, I'll give it a try.
Okay, all right. Then I nominate Elaine Lemoyne for position of clerk to run to the 1st of January, 2024.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I think she'll be great, quite honestly. I think
too.
she'll be great. And there's always a
Very,
lot of
very
help around.
organized lady. Okay, we done? We got a clerk? All right. All right, thank you.
We
Thank you,
need to
thank you,
vote.
thank
We
you.
need to vote individually.
Oh,
All in favor, say
Aye.
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 opposed?
Good Elaine voted and Betty Lane voted.
Opposed or you get the job.
Right.
Congratulations.
Any
Thank you.
Any opposition, you get the job. We don't have any opposition. Okay, election of chair. I nominate Missy Coronan.
I second the nomination.
can I direct this
Judy
question
says we can do
to
that.
you? So they are considering a vote for the chair, and the person they are so nominating is not present.
No, the person does not need to be present because you have assured me that that person has
Agreed.
agreed to serve in that position. You publicly declared that you have asked that person, and you just simply put that on the record, that you're not blindsiding somebody.
Okay.
So, you know, yes, you have spoken with the individual, he or she would accept, and then you just go.
Okay, yes, we have
Just for the record, I did reach out to Missy Carnan this morning and asked her if she would accept, and she did respond saying sure. So she is, I didn't
Okay,
get it till just now,
so
but
all
she
in
has
favor?
agreed.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, Missy Coronan, effective the August meeting, if not before, will be our new chair, term to, now, I have here term to expire 25. Should we change
Change
that
that.
to 24?
We're changing it to
One more?
January 25. The other
That's
one
what
is
I've got.
24, no, 24.
Well, that's what I'm
1
saying,
year.
that's what I'm asking. Judy?
Oh, I may be misinterpreting with what has been said, but I thought the suggestion was to make it a one-year term from now, just to give the person some opportunity to be familiar in the role and to, it's a skill,
Okay,
right?
but our elections are not in July. Our elections are in January. So it's either from now until this January or from now until January 25.
If you decide you want to keep it that way, the suggestion was to change it. So that's
Change
up
our-
to change it
our
from
voting
July
dates?
1 to June 30th. So,
So if your bylaws say that your terms expire on January 1st,
Yeah,
my suggestion was to have them both expire in 2024, not 2025.
okay.
We appoint on the July 1st date, so it's a little confusing.
But our bylaws state
Right.
1st of January.
But because you are looking to see 3 new members, or possibly 4 new members,
Okay.
you are giving all of the people an equal opportunity to see what the job requires, to see how much energy he or she wants to put into.
Okay, so that should be January of 24 for the chairman as well as the clerk.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we had talked about maybe switching the meetings to Mondays, because we know that Missy is available on Mondays. She doesn't work on Mondays. She's available to be here in the building on Mondays. Hopefully, she will be here on Mondays to meet with Sharon and get the week started and whatever. But do we want to think about moving the board meeting to the first Monday or the second Monday or the 27th Monday of the month, just to accommodate having everybody here that can be here? I mean, think about it, we'll talk about it next month, but look, go home, look at your schedules, see what you think. Is it going to create any big,
Are there any Monday holidays that we should consider? Should it be the first Monday of the month?
yeah, right, it should not be, because that's when they're, how many,
Not the first, yeah.
made-up
'cause then you-
holidays are
yeah.
always on a Monday.
Yeah.
Yep. So it shouldn't be the first Monday.
Well,
Well,
that's September, right there.
right,
September.
right there.
Well,
is
we-
the-
Monday would be Labor Day weekend.
We wouldn't be making the decision until next month, and then
Right.
we can
Okay.
carry it over to whenever, but, so,
Labor Day.
the
what I'm saying is, ladies, think about when you might like to move it to.
Which
If
Monday
you would
would be
like to move it
the
to a
safest?
Monday.
Columbus Day, are we open or closed?
closed.
We're closed, so that's 2 Mondays.
And Veterans Day. The other thing is, when we do luncheons or special events, we really can't do them Tuesday, Wednesdays, or Thursdays because it would impact our big programs, chair yoga, chair volleyball, pickleball, whatever. So we are really limited to Mondays and Fridays without having to disrupt something. So, and we tend to go on Mondays only because Fridays, we don't have not a lot of traffic here, like in the building. So I just can't be at a board meeting if I have
Yeah,
an
right,
event
right,
starting
right.
at 11:30.
Yeah, yeah.
But otherwise, I don't care. Sometimes we have flexibility and sometimes we don't. So, just FYI.
Well, let's, we'll table it till next month, and we'll give the other people a chance to to think about it as well.
Because what if we move the time as well? Remember we said to move it up a little bit?
Up as in 9
9
o'clock?
o'clock?
We are the only one in the area whose board meets at 10 o'clock in the morning. You go to any of these other towns, and it's 8:30, it's 9 o'clock. I mean,
Get it
they
done.
are up and
Up and out.
out.
Yep.
Right.
Another point is that I don't think this room is in hot demand during the week, like
Yeah.
during, weekdays, but we
Right.
would have to check make sure this room is
All right,
available.
all right, well, let's, bat it around, let's think of some alternatives, and we'll bring it up next month as an agenda item, and make a decision for what we're gonna start in maybe September. Okay?
Missy's still able to do the meetings on Thursday though, right? If we keep it to Thursday.
Well, but she's not here today because they had a conflict and couldn't get here.
Right, but that doesn't happen all the time.
No, it doesn't happen often. So I guess we need to talk with Missy and find out, what a good day, I mean, I'm not saying we have to change it. I was just thinking about if she's gonna be here on Monday, maybe we want to change to Monday, but Monday's not a great day. It's not a solution, I think,
Right.
so.
Okay.
All right, we'll leave it the way it is until we think about it a little more.
What was your other item you had for 48?
That was it, Monday meeting and Jim Uni's,
I thought you said you had two things.
just those two things,
What two things?
Jim and Monday meeting.
Oh, okay, Jim, all right.
Okay, so I'm done.
Okay.
Anybody else got anything they want to bring up? Happened in the last 48 hours?
No?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
motion.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, ladies. See you in a month.